and welcome back to The Witch's Brew. I'm your host, Amanda. Today we are talking crystals. So let's go ahead and get into it because I have a lot in front of me. And specifically with crystals, we're talking about the ones that I gravitate towards the most. These seem to switch around depending on the season of life that I'm in. Some of these that I have over here are pretty consistent. I do have a couple that made new additions, and then I also have some honorable mentions over here as well. So let's just go ahead and get into it because I'm not sure how long this is going to take. All right, so as I talk about these, if you're watching on the YouTube, I will show you the crystal itself, but I will also kind of describe what it looks like if you are unfamiliar. And then we will also talk about the properties that each crystal has. So first up is citrine. It's typically like a yellowy gold clearer crystal. I do have a smaller piece of the raw crystal back there. And if you've seen a raw crystal of citrine, it's white and then the top is like an amber color. It's very pretty. But citrine is really great for joy, abundance, wealth, prosperity, good luck, positivity, and it also boosts self-esteem. So like an overall just really, really great crystal to have on hand. Honestly, I need to get more citrine, but like bigger pieces. And actually I'm wearing you can't see it, I'm wearing a citrine anklet today as well. Next up, we have moss agate, which is a green stone. It's not totally see-through. It's kind of murky. I don't like that term, but it looks like you can see some light coming through it, but like not all the way. The veining in it is also very cool. And moss agate boosts mental function and creativity. It helps with manifestation, attracts wealth, and is also great for new beginnings. Moss agate is also a really great stone for connecting you to Mother Earth, Gaia, nature spirits, things like that. And I also have a moss agate anklet on as well. And next up is green aventurine. Green aventurine is obviously green, but it's more solid in color than moss agate is. And this is great for strength, confidence, courage, happiness, luck. Sorry, I'm also reading off my list. It also aids in wealth. It quiets the mind and it eases stress. I have quite a few pieces, smaller pieces, but pieces of green aventurine behind me. And I absolutely love working with this crystal. Next up, obsidian. I talked about this during the protection episode. Obsidian is black. There are a couple different variations. I also have a piece of snowflake obsidian back behind me as well that has flecks of white in it, but I mean solid black stone. And of course, great for protection, but also really great for purification, enhancing psychic abilities, transformation, and someone in my brain just said strength. So we'll add strength to that as well. I do have, again, I'm not wearing it today, but I do have a necklace that has a little piece of obsidian and also a little piece of moonstone that I wear pretty frequently, especially if I'm going out in public, especially during the school year when I'm teaching. Just good protection to have on hand. Another protection crystal that I love is smoky quartz, which is a grayish kind of quartz. Again, if you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see through it, but not totally. This one that I have is a piece of raw smoky quartz. And you will be able to find some smoky quartz that is a little bit more translucent. I don't know. I like mine with gray in it. And smoky quartz is great for protection, promoting positive thoughts, promoting balance. We're talking like emotional balance here. It's a very grounding stone. It decreases fear, and it also aids in manifestation. I typically like to pair obsidian, smoky quartz, and our next crystal, which is clear quartz, together, because clear quartz is a fantastic amplifier, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I feel like most people are pretty familiar with clear quartz. Definitely the most translucent of the stones that I've shown so far, but again, it does have veining and crackling in there as well. And this is actually my most used piece of clear quartz. I have a bunch of them that are way more clear, but I really love the point. So yeah, clear quartz. This is really great for amplifying the crystals that are around it, which is why I have this obsidian and smoky quartz all in the nursery as well as in my son's room. I also typically, when I use clear quartz in a spell, if you've watched any of my candle spells or even spell jars, the typical quality that I attribute to clear quartz is amplification of everything around it. Also great for clarity, concentration, and enhancing psychic abilities. That is something that tickles your fancy. All right. Next up is amethyst. Purple stone. Again, some, depending on the kind of piece you get, some are more translucent than others. You can find them in light purple, dark purple. The veining in amethyst is also really pretty. This is actually my mom's favorite stone. And this aids in manifestation, brings harmony. This also assists with grieving, which is not an attribute that I really thought of when I thought of this stone. So it's good to know that. Also great for psychic protection and creating a peaceful atmosphere. This is another one that I have in both the nursery and my son's room. I am very sensitive, spiritually speaking, psychically speaking. So is my son. This baby is not here yet, nor will be here when this episode is posted. But I am assuming that this child will also be psychically sensitive. Again, kids in general, and I know I've said this before on this channel, kids in general are just very sensitive to spirits. So it's nice to have a little bit of psychic protection as well. Especially this baby is going to be born around or shortly after Halloween. And that is, I'll have an episode about that later, but that is when the veil is the thinnest. And I I just don't want anyone messing with the kids. All right, moving on. Next one is labradorite. And this one is gray, black. It's also very shiny. I'm trying to catch the light a little bit. But the sheen is like a golden bluish green, which I just find absolutely beautiful. This has recently become one of my favorite stones just to have around. And labradorite is really great for protection, manifestation, new beginnings, which is why I've been gravitating towards this stone more. Psychic enhancement, and aids in prophetic dreams. So if dream work is something that you are interested in, labradorite paired with amethyst and clear quartz, I think that would probably do the trick. There is a reason that I don't have some of these crystals in my room. Okay, good. I'm still recording. I really don't need much help in the prophetic dream and psychic enhancement because I'm still getting woken up in the middle of the night by the spirits. I guess be careful what you wish for. Next up, this is again another recent favorite of mine, and this is ocean jasper. And you can find pieces that are strictly blue. I love the ones that have the various types of blue banding and going into like brown and white banding. It very much reminds me of the beach. Not that I love the beach. I like the thought of the beach. We'll say that. And as no surprise to anybody, some attributes for ocean jasper are relaxation and positivity. One that did surprise me, though, was it also aids in self-expression, which I love, and that's probably, with the relaxation plus the self-expression, that's probably why I've been gravitating to this so much. But honestly, almost every single piece of ocean jasper that I've seen is just gorgeous. I'm really becoming a fan of jasper in general. I also recently bought some bumblebee jasper. The stone that I have next is also a type of jasper, and that is bloodstone. Bloodstone, this one, it's showing up kind of black on the camera. It is a very, very dark green. Oftentimes with bloodstone, depending on the piece that you find, there is also red banding in there as well. It is a very cool stone. And yes, is a type of jasper. And this is actually a stone that warriors used to carry when they went off into battle, which I think is pretty amazing. With the name bloodstone, you can kind of assume that it aids in healing, like physical healing, which is why I've been gravitating towards bloodstone a lot. Pregnancy comes with a lot of uncomfortable feelings in your body. But it also aids in courage, and it provides protection. Honestly, an all-around great stone. I don't know why more people don't use bloodstone. And the last one that I have on the list, but I still have 3 more, is blue lace agate. And this is a raw piece, but they're blue. Because it's an agate, it's not going to be as translucent as see-through. Very light blue color with some darker blue banding in there. It's kind of hard to see unless you're really looking close. But blue lace agate, another one that I keep in the kids' rooms because it promotes tranquility, which kids really need when they're trying to go to sleep, especially my toddler. However, it also assists with communication. It eases stress and it brings clarity. Just, again, an all-around great stone. All-around great stone. All right, let's talk about my honorable mentions. And these are ones that did not necessarily come to my mind while I was creating this list. And I'm not totally sure why, because I've been using them very frequently. So let me also pull up Google. That way I can give you guys accurate information. So the first stone that I have in the honorable mentions is rose quartz. I feel like a lot of people are very familiar with rose quartz. It's a light pink stone, and this aids in bringing love, all sorts of love, like self-love, romantic love, love between friends. It also aids in emotional healing. It's a very comforting stone, promotes friendships. I've been doing a lot of work, and I mentioned this in the Aphrodite episode, I've been doing a lot of work with Aphrodite on self-love and just letting love come to me. So rose quartz has been really, really great with that. All right, another stone that I've been gravitating to a lot is carnelian. Typically, I feel like when you see pictures of carnelian, you usually see the red stone with like orange, different types of orange banding. This one that I have also is a little pink, which I kind of love. Carnelian is a great stone for courage, for empowerment, confidence. It's also great for memory, creativity, which is probably why I've been called to carnelian so much, as well as happiness. Again, just another good one. So the final stone, I actually got up and grabbed my slab of this rather than just the chunk that I have. And this is malachite. It has all sorts of green banding on it, which I think is so beautiful. That's why I grabbed the slab. It has dark green all the way up to like a lighter sea foam. It's just such a cool stone to look at. And this stone is also known as the traveler stone. So again, this is malachite. I've been using this to help manifest a lot of travel, which I know is not going to come into fruition anytime soon because baby. But in the next like year or two, I would like to be able to travel more, which I think would be amazing. However, also has a bunch of other attributes as well that are also equally amazing. This is a stone of transformation. So I like to pair this, especially lately, with labradorite to help transform into those new beginnings. Honestly, these two would be really great in a road opener spell or a spell for a new job. Not that I'm working on anything like that or I've done anything like that, but I do have a road opener spell recorded and up on my YouTube channel. However, it also is a very healing stone. It helps ease physical ailments as well as promote emotional well-being. I read on here it helps like aid in repairing relationships. Also helps with past life trauma, which I think is so cool. Yeah. Also protection, growth, cleansing, and empowerment. So this, what, 2.5 by 3 inch ish slab really does pack a pretty big punch. So I don't know how these 3 stones did not make it in while I was making my original list. But there you go. Those are the stones the crystals that I am gravitating towards the most lately. Again, I'm recording this middle of July. So I'm sure by the time late October, early November rolls around, I will be gravitating towards much different ones because I will be in a different stage of my life. So I will definitely do another one of these later on. We'll see what stays the same and what changes. But I hope this gave you some good ideas, some good stones to add to your collection if you do not have some of these already. But I love you, and I will see you again next week. Bye.